Hi, it's Mike with Matawan Works, back again with a new video. I hope you enjoy.
Mike with MAB Landworks, back from a job here in Girt. We're going to be clearing out this briar and brush. We're going to clear it out, make a pile over there by where the bucket is, and then, we're going to haul it out of here with a dumpster. See if I can get you some videos, a few clips here and there, maybe some action, and hope you enjoy.
So this video I'm going to do is I have the footage from this job in Girt, which is pretty straightforward, just clearing out some ivy, a few stumps. But then at the end I'm going to add some footage of the Jackson job where we put down those trucks of dirt. We went back to that job and took out the stumps the customer had requested. I have a little bit of footage on that, so it'll be like a little extra at the end of this. That was actually just about under an hour of footage, but digging stumps is pretty repetitive. So I'm going to just speed it up and try and get you the Cliff Notes on that, and try to keep everything a little more concise. So this is one of those straightforward jobs. The property here, actually where that fence is, was an old house. I believe the owner's grandmother lived there. She passed, and it was a two-lot property, but the structure itself spanned across both properties. They knocked down the house, and now they ended up with two separate lots. I believe there were two separate siblings, and they were splitting the property, so obviously the house had to come down in order for them to be able to split the land. To the left here we have is the easement for the railroad tracks, so it's not really something we want to take over, but also I don't think it's anybody's going to be too exacting on where the property line is. I mean, this is just invasive weeds and vines growing through here. We run into a few stumps here and there. At the end of this project, we ended up clearing this entire the lot, and then we called in a dumpster for the brush. We called in a 20-yard dumpster. I was actually in the process of buying my own dumpster truck, but obviously things just took forever and ever. I ended up finishing the tear out here, and I took a few days off in the fall. I always enjoy taking some time off because it's still nice enough where you can go out walking and enjoy wherever you're going. Obviously in the winter we have plenty of time, but who wants to walk around the city in 30-degree weather? So I came back from that break, and the deal for the truck still hadn't finished. Financing wanted this, insurance people needed more time to get the proof. We also, I don't have it on this clip actually, but we also came back, we put down some seed and some hay. Hopefully the seed or the hay to stabilize the soil over the winter, keep seed from washing away, and keep ruts from washing onto the property. And then the seed is just kind of a Hail Mary. Hopefully it comes up. If not, it'll come back in the spring.
Now you missed a couple days of work, so this has just been a nightmare. Swapped that trailer ball like 3 or 4 times. The wrong wiring connector. Just a nightmare. But anyway, we're wrapping up here, breaking out the fine parts and seeding, and this one's going to be done. The big stumps are going to be left for the foundation guy. He has a much bigger machine, and that's it. It's a wrap for this one.
This is the bonus footage of the stumps over in Jackson. The digging was relatively easy, the soil was very sandy, but this oak particularly had some tap roots that were going down pretty far and gave us a really hard time. I was hoping that the entire job was going to take me 2 hours. I'm sorry, an hour for the whole job, but it ended up taking me 2 hours just because this one stump ate up an hour all by itself. You can see the size of that one root. So, you know, this is a small machine, it's not very large, so it's just a matter of you keep getting farther and farther away from the stump, and the roots get smaller, and then you're able to break them, and then you get closer and closer to the stump, and eventually it will give way. Most trees, it's not really a big problem, but the oaks or anything with a taproot is a lot harder, just because the roots go down so deep on these trees. It makes it really tough to get these stumps out. The rest of these were very small. They were pines and spruce and you know, hemlocks. Much easier to deal with. And the frustrating part, I think, of this particular job was that the stump itself was loose half an hour into it, but we just could not find for the life of us where it was connecting. And here we have the pin. This pin has been a problem. Keeps coming loose. The retainer clips keep breaking off. That 1 foot bucket is just as wide as the pin, so whenever I'm ripping anything out, the pin ends up getting clipped and ripped off. But I have a bag full of them in the cab. And here, this is towards the end, and normally we don't whip out the chainsaw for something like this, but we just couldn't get through those tap roots. And we were, you know, digging all the way around the tree, and we just couldn't find that last root. And you can see it moves, but we just can't get it. These gentlemen here were actually, they were helping the customer with some other things. The customer was a very lovely person, and she actually treated us to lunch, and that's what they were doing. They were taking the lunch order, and they just like that. That one little root was the one thing holding the entire thing in there. So it's very deceiving from this angle how big these stumps are, but the Mini was able to drag it out, and that was that. And you can see the rest of these stumps, you know, a couple, I pick at them just a little bit and they just break loose. I mean, these are cherry. That's a cherry stump, for example. The one right underneath the arm, pretty much from behind where we are right now. That's a cherry as well, and that came up relatively easy. And it wasn't exactly, you know, these are, you know, nothing to scoff at, but just because they're different wood, they just don't have those deep tap roots. There's something that I can easily handle.
Once again, this is Mike from Mad Landworks. Thank you for watching. See you next time.